Welcome. Today is Sunday, February 24th, 2019. Here's what's what. An Israeli rocket has taken off from Cape Canaveral in Florida on course for a lunar landing that would make history for commercial space travel. The project is a novelty because it is the first privately financed moon landing. Bereshit is the lander that took off from Cape Canaveral on board a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket on Friday. Its name refers to the first week of the Torah and translates to the beginning. The naming is apt, as the project represents a new beginning in two respects. It will not only be Israel's first moon landing, but it is also the first entirely privately initiated and financed moon mission ever. A communications satellite for Indonesia was the main cargo, as Israel seeks to become only the fourth country to successfully land on the moon. The probe will also be scientifically integrated into existing research projects. For example, Bereshit has a magnetometer on board, which will transmit data to the NASA Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Lean Culinary Services, LLC, a Hollywood, Florida establishment, is recalling approximately 223 pounds of ready-to-eat chicken salad products that may be adulterated with Listeria monocytogenes. The ready-to-eat chicken salad items were produced on February 12, 2019. The products subject to recall bear establishment number P-46167 inside the USDA mark of inspection. These items were shipped to retail locations in Florida. The problem was discovered on February 18, 2019, when FSIS inspection program personnel verified the status of product that had tested positive for the presence of Listeria monocytogenes. Listeriosis can cause fever, muscle aches, headaches, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, and convulsions. There is concern that some product may be in consumers' refrigerators. Consumers who have purchased these products are urged not to consume them. These products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. Television station WFAA has revealed a secret in a small East Texas town called Onalaska, which has more than 1,000 registered aircraft and no airport. The investigation found planes were registered to 2 standard post office boxes in Onalaska. According to the most recent government data, the town had a population of 2,755, indicating that there were enough registered aircraft for nearly 37% of its residents. Considering the median income for a household in the area was $28,750, it's kind of difficult to fathom that a considerable number of residents owned a plane. WFAA said Onalaska had more registered planes than New York, San Antonio, Seattle, and San Diego. Most of the aircraft owners were not based in Texas nor the U.S., but were foreigners. Onalaska is the epicenter for a practice that allows foreigners to register their planes anonymously and quickly. Foreign multinational corporations often use trusts to register a plane because the FAA demands registrations have a U.S. citizen on file. To register an aircraft, owners are required to be a U.S. citizen. However, there is a loophole. The FAA allows foreigners to register their planes by transferring a title to a U.S. trustee. It only costs $5 for an owner to register a plane with the FAA. Once the clearing process is complete, the FAA will assign the aircraft a tail code that starts with an N. If that insignia was not present, the plane would have difficulty transversing across the U.S. border and could be intercepted by U.S. Air Force fighter jets. In another audit of the 5 major trust companies, federal investigators found the companies could not or would not provide the identities of 75% of the foreign owners requested. One trustee told federal agents that they would need to subpoena the information. Turning to birthdays for today, February 24th. George Thorogood turns 69 today. George is an American musician, singer, and songwriter from Wilmington, Delaware. His high-energy boogie blues sound became a staple of the 1980s rock radio, with hits like his original songs, Bad to the Bone and I Drink Alone. He's also helped to popularize older songs by American icons, such as Move It On Over and Who Do You Love? With his band, the Delaware Destroyers, Thorogood has released over 20 albums, of which 2 have been certified platinum and 6 have been certified gold. Floyd Merriweather Jr. is 42. Floyd is an American professional boxing promoter and former professional boxer. He competed from 1996 to 2007 and 2009 to 2015 and made a one-fight comeback in 2017. During his career, he held multiple world titles in 5 weight classes and retired with an undefeated record. Merriweather is one of the most lucrative pay-per-view attractions of all time in any sport. Sammy Kershaw is 61 today. Sammy's an American country music artist. He's released 16 studio albums with 3 RIAA Platinum certifications and 2 Gold certifications among them. His more than 25 singles have entered top 40 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs charts, including the #1 hit She Don't Know She's Beautiful and 10 more top 10 hits. Sammy was married to American country music singer Lori Morgan in September 2001. She filed for divorce citing irreconcilable differences in October 2007. Billy Zane is 53. Zane's an American actor and producer. He's best known for his role in the epic romantic disaster film Titanic, as well as roles in the TV show Twin Peaks and a recurring role in the television series Charmed, in which he played poetry-loving ex-demon Drake. The Holy Grail of bees has been discovered lurking in an Indonesian forest. Unseen by humans since 1981 and believed to be extinct, the thumb-length Wallace's giant bee was finally spotted by a conservation group. A global wildlife conservation search team found and photographed Wallace's giant bee nesting in a termite mound in the forests of Ternate, an Indonesian island in the north, in January. They had spent years researching where the ideal habitat for the long-lost creature, which co-discoverer and bee enthusiast Clay Bolt affectionately describes as a flying bulldog, might be. Has a high-fat meal ever left you feeling bloated and sluggish? It turns out that a heavier fat diet may keep the many good bacteria that live in your digestive system from doing their best. New research found that when people boosted their fat intake to 40% of their daily diet for 6 months, the number of good gut bacteria decreased while unhelpful bacteria amounts increased. A high-fat diet is linked to unfavorable changes in the type and numbers of gut bacteria, collectively known as the microbiome. In addition to changing the makeup of the microbiome, there's an increase in the inflammatory triggers in the body. Bacteria living in the digestive system appears to have broad-ranging impacts on human health. Western diet, which is rich in fat, red and processed meats, cheese, sweets, refined grains, and fast-fried junk foods, in a sense, poisons good bacteria. Bats don't only carry the deadly Ebola virus, but are also a reservoir for a new type of influenza virus. These newly discovered flu viruses can potentially also attack the cells of humans and livestock, researchers at the University of Zurich have now shown. Seasonal outbreaks of the flu are caused by influenza viruses that can only infect people. Influenza types that circulate in birds or pigs are normally not a threat to humans. However, in rare cases, an avian or pig virus can pass on to humans, a process called zoonotic transmission, which at worst can lead to a global influenza pandemic with numerous serious illnesses and deaths. The highly attuned snouts of trained dogs are already used to sniff out other potential problems like bombs and drugs, so now the Chilean wine barrel maker T.N. Coopers has reportedly trained a team of dogs to hunt down potentially harmful compounds like TCA and TBA, which are responsible for causing cork taint. This tainting of wine, which leads to undesirable aromas and flavors, often comes from the cork. These same compounds can also contaminate barrels, infecting the wine at that earlier stage of production. The underlying principle is that dogs have a much wider olfactory threshold than humans, and thus can detect very small concentrations of specific compounds just by their sense of smell. The project currently employs 5 Labrador retrievers who work both on-site and at the cooperage and can be hired out by wineries facing cork taint issues. The desert locust, known as the world's most dangerous migratory pest, poses a major threat to food security in the Middle East. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, warned that an infestation of desert locusts is rapidly spreading along both sides of the Red Sea towards Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Heavy rains triggered 2 generations of breeding since October, leading to a substantial increase in the locust population, eventually forming hopper bands or swarms of adults, composed of billions of individual locusts. The next 3 months will be critical in bringing the locust situation under control before the summer breeding starts. A desert locust adult can consume its own weight, roughly 2 grams, in food a day. The added difficulty is they're normally in the desert, so they're eating the vegetation there. Once they get into the rain-fed crops on the edge of the desert, grown by poor farmers, they're eating an entire livelihood, and then they move into the country and affect national food supplies. The FAO Commission for Controlling the Desert Locusts in the Central Region, composed of 16 member countries, is convening a meeting in Jordan over the next few days to review the current situation and coordinate efforts to protect crops from the world's most dangerous migratory pest.